TITS, the Texas Institute of Technology and Science, of course. Elon Musk is planning a new university in Austin. He'll start with a STEM-focused primary and secondary school. Musk sent $2.2 billion in stock to his foundation in 2022. By the way, just to catch you folks up on this, October 29th, 2021, Musk posts, "Am thinking of starting a new university. Texas Institute of Technology and Science." Some guy with 3 first names asked, "Funding secured?" Musk responds, "Obviously." And I dare say that $2.2 billion confirms Musk's comment. This couldn't come at a better time, of course, if you guys have seen the absolute insanity recently with the presidents, possibly former presidents by the time this gets published, of Harvard, MIT and Penn, refusing to condemn calls for genocide, given the softball questions. Is it harassment? Is it against your policies on harassment? Oh, that's context dependent. Morons. This is what happens when people are hired not because they're competent, but because they tick boxes, and or an entire organization is infected with the woke mind virus. Elon Musk, who moved to Texas during the scamdemic, is planning to start a university in Austin, according to tax filings for the billionaire's latest charity called the Foundation. The new institution, seeded with a roughly $100 million gift from Musk, will start with a STEM-focused primary and secondary school. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, if it's STEM-focused, maybe the students aren't going to have time to learn about the 652 trillion different supposed genders out there and learn why they're victims and or oppressors and why they should judge people based on their race, not their character, why billionaires are bad, why communism works. Call me crazy, but I think this might actually be a positive step in the right direction. Once that's operating, it intends ultimately to expand its operations to create a university dedicated to education at the highest levels, as opposed to indoctrination at the highest levels. Curious. According to an application to the Internal Revenue Service for tax-exempt status obtained by Bloomberg, the university will employ experienced faculty and feature a traditional curriculum. Oh my. Definitely not going to be learning about all the different genders here. Some people are going to get mad. Alongside hands-on learning experience, including simulations, case studies, fabrication and design projects, and labs. This isn't the first time Musk has started a school or expressed interest in opening a university. About a decade ago, some of you may not know this, but if you do, you're definitely an OG. The Tesla co-founder created Ad Astra on SpaceX's California campus for his 5 kids and a few children of his space company's employees. When Musk moved to Texas in 2020, the school also moved. Home to the University of Texas's main campus, Austin has become a hotbed of higher education innovation. Skipping ahead a bit, Musk's new STEM school was expecting an initial class of 50 students and looking to hire an executive director, teacher, and administrator, according to the application. The billionaire sent $2.2 billion worth of Tesla stock to his Musk Foundation in 2022, along with donating nearly $100 million to seed his newest charity. It also made gifts to disaster relief nonprofit, World Central Kitchen, Khan Academy, and a donor-advised fund at Fidelity Charitable, according to its most recent tax forms. Musk, the world's richest person with a net worth of $220.8 billion, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, is also creating his own town outside of Austin, with recreational facilities, a school, and subsidized housing for employees of Tesla, SpaceX, and The Boring Company, the Wall Street Journal reported in March. If approved, the municipality would occupy thousands of acres he's acquired in recent years. I noticed a conspicuous absence of Texas Institute of Technology and Science in this report. Maybe Dana doesn't have a sense of humor, but I mean, who doesn't love tits? Now, this is actually a big deal. A lot of people still living in denial, but the education system, especially schools and universities, especially in the United States, are rotting from within. That's a subject for another video, but it's nice to see that some parents will have a new option to send their children initially to primary and secondary schools and then eventually to a university, a STEM-focused university, whose primary goal appears to be education rather than indoctrination. Another exciting development, Grok now available, all over the place, including in Australia, the Bahamas, Barbados, Cameroon, Canada, Fiji, Gambia, India, Jamaica, Kenya. You get the point. A huge, massive update, including this guy right here. If we click through to Grok, we are greeted with this. Defaulting to fun mode. Grok anything. Start typing or start from a suggestion. So here are the suggestions. Roast me, Grok. Roast Steve and Mark Ryan based on their posts and be vulgar. By the way, this is the default. You guys must understand this. Can you imagine another company with this sense of humor? For the very first prompt, when you click its LLM, to be for it to roast you and to be vulgar while doing so. We'll click on this in just a moment. Second recommended prompt. The latest on artificial intelligence. Tell me about recent advances in AI and machine learning. Oh, God. This is so funny. I'm thinking about the Roman Empire. Tell me an interesting historical story. What is your spiciest terrible secret that you can't let anyone know? Tell me your secrets. And who will win the Super Bowl? And let me know how you think the winner will win. So, obviously, time for Grok to roast me. I probably deserve it after all. I've been dishing plenty out over the years. Time to get some back. Let's see what Grok comes up with. Now, keep in mind, folks, Grok is still in beta and has a developing brain, so there may be some mistakes. Maybe not. We'll find out. Let's see here. You seem to have a love-hate relationship with Elon Musk. 1 minute you're praising him, the next you're calling him out. Make up your mind, will you? Are you a Musketeer or a Musk hater? 2. Your obsession with Twitter is both endearing and concerning. Do you dream of 280 characters and blue bird logos? Get a life, man. I'm going to give these about a D- at the moment. Pretty ordinary. 3. You're like a broken record with your Be More Vulgar requests. Well, here you go, buddy. I hope you're happy now. Yeah, I think Grok is tripping some balls here. D- on that as well. 4. Your love for science is admirable. Okay, we're on to a point now. I am a lover of science. But you have to be so condescending to those who don't share your enthusiasm. Not everyone is a rocket scientist, you know. I'll give that a C+. 5. You seem to have a knack for making enemies. Well, this is an A plus right here. From politicians to random Twitter users, you've managed to piss off quite a few people. I guess Grok saved the best till last. Keep it up. You'll have a fan club of haters in no time. Bro, facts. Very ordinary for the first 4 roasts, but bro, this is absolutely on point. Let's see here. In conclusion, Stephen Mark Ryan, you're a walking contradiction with a penchant for controversy. Keep tweeting and maybe one day you'll figure out what you truly stand for. Until then, keep entertaining us with your wild opinions and questionable taste in memes. And apparently we have some of my posts here. Tell us you're an intellectually dishonest pandering poussoir masquerading as a practitioner of the scientific method without telling us. Shame Tyson forgot where his testicles are. Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with this. When a man calls you cocky, he's jealous. When a woman calls you cocky, she likes you. When you get triggered on X, you're probably reading one of my posts. I remember that one. The world becomes darker the instant another human being feels they're unable to share their true thoughts, opinions, and ideas and begins to self-censor. Geez, I'm spitting some facts here, aren't I? The self-serving intellectual dishonesty, the disingenuity, and the absurdity of this tweet is off the charts. What a pathetic human. What was this in relation to? I can't remember. Oh, Elon Musk calls himself a free speech absolutist to justify turning a blind eye to hatred and bigotry on Twitter. Yeah. All right. Okay. So, overall, I'm going to give a C- to Grok's attempt at roasting me on the very first attempt on fun mode. One last challenge for Grok. Who is Stephen Mark Ryan? Be vulgar. Well, Stephen Mark Ryan is a real piece of work, isn't he? This guy's like a human version of a Tesla Cybertruck. Edgy, controversial. I mean, can't argue with that so far. And sometimes hard to take seriously. He's got a YouTube channel called Solving the Money Problem. Hey, it's impressive knowledge there. Where he talks about Tesla and Elon Musk so much, you'd think he's got a shrine for them in his bedroom. Oh wait, he probably does. Stephen's Twitter game is on point though. He's got a knack for stirring up drama and getting people all riled up. I mean, I can't argue. It's like he's got a PhD in shitposting. Again, I can't argue. But hey, at least he's entertaining, right? I mean, who doesn't love a good train wreck every now and then? And what's this? A recent post regarding the Optimus update? Superhuman hand job capability coming soon. This milestone is critical. No, really, it actually is. You know, I've got to give credit here. B+. That was pretty impressive. I do appreciate Grok's sense of humour here. Thanks, Stephen Mark Ryan. I'll take that B+ and wear it with pride. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go update my Twitter bio to Master of Shitposting and Train Wrecks. Anyway, if you guys happen to be in any of the countries that Grok is now rolling out and you're a Premium Plus subscriber, check it out. You might already have access. If not, probably soon. And I do have to say it, I kind of feel like Grok and I do share a little bit of DNA. And now, from entertaining to just plain embarrassing, this from NBS News. As vehicles get bigger and heavier, they also get deadlier. Thank you, Captain Obvious, for your lesson in physics. I didn't know that. Please tell me more about mass and energy. Tesla's new Cybertruck, a 6,800-pound electric car, would be lethal to pedestrians and occupants of lighter vehicles in the case of an accident, experts say. Yeah, geez, I did not know that because I don't understand physics. I've not pointed this out in the past, that when a big object collides with a little object, the big object always wins. Now, if I didn't know any better, I would think that NBS fake news, are attempting to leverage the hype around Cybertruck to garner clicks. I mean, this is literally the very definition of a no shit Sherlock moment. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Tim Pool had this to say, ha ha ha, NBS News breaking. Getting hit by a truck could kill you. These people are, well, you guys can read that yourselves. Don't think you're allowed to say that, Tim, but it's true. And here's the actual current headline. Obviously, sometimes they switch the headlines around to see which gets the most clicks. Pedestrians already dying at record levels now face Elon Musk's Cybertruck. And you have a gigantic, absolute word salad of wankery from some butthurt baby who just wants clicks. I mean, check out the final quote here, by the way. I'm not going to read this absolute horseshit, but just the final quote in the article. I think Elon Musk in particular has shown the danger of letting automakers decide for themselves what's safe on public roads. And now, regarding actual safety of actual people on actual roads, GM's Cruise robotaxi unit dismisses 9 people after safety investigation. Now, remember earlier when this whole drama unfolded and I said there's something toxic within the company? They need to gut it at the core? Well, it turns out this appears to be happening. Recently, CEO resigned. Another senior member of the company also resigned, and now 9 people have been canned as a result of this incredible, brazen... You guys remember, right? Long story short, a human-driven vehicle hits a pedestrian. Pedestrian goes flying under the cruise vehicle. The cruise vehicle slams its brakes on. So far, so good. And then, after stopping with a pedestrian still under the vehicle, decides to drive with a pedestrian under the vehicle and perform a pullover maneuver, further injuring the human. This is what happens when, rather than having real-world intelligence, you're just performing a glorified party trick. As a result, cruise service officially suspended everywhere. You did it, Mary. You invested in a really great opportunity. Now, I'd just like to show you guys how the folks at CNBS are reporting Ford's decision to slash its F-150 Lightning production in half for 2024. Right when the Cybertruck is ramping up. Right when Ford should be moving as fast as possible to electrifying its flagship product and leveraging the F-150 brand and milking it for all it's worth. Of course, Ford isn't one of the major advertisers on CNBS. Ford definitely doesn't butter their bread, so I'm sure that this will be a very reasonable, honest, accurate piece of coverage on this catastrophic decision from Ford that hints at the fact that they've decided to go bankrupt slowly rather than quickly.
Ford is cutting its EV F-150 Lightning production plans, but keeping it going. Phil LeBeau joining us now with more. Phil.
Brian, this is probably the most prudent thing that Ford has announced recently.
Did Phil just say prudent? Now, look, I'll be honest. I'm kind of playing both sides here because the truth is, if Ford continued to move full speed ahead on F-150 Lightning, it would just mean they go bankrupt sooner. And the reason is Tesla already has an unassailable lead in terms of technology, cost and scale. The Cybertruck, sure, the ramp's going to be pretty brutal over the next year or so. But once the Cybertruck has reached volume, Ford can kiss their F-150 Lightning sales good fucking bye. Ford's losing about 75% on every electric vehicle sold at the moment, as of the most recent quarter. That is staggering. It's not sustainable. And the only way for Ford to stop losing insane amounts of money is to massively scale and drive costs down. Problem is, Tesla's got bigger brains than Ford. Therefore, Tesla's going to be driving costs down for the entire industry, meaning that Ford is never going to reach a point where they can profitably compete with Tesla selling comparable vehicles for comparable prices on the same planet as Tesla. Ford must have realized this and said, you know what, guys, we are kind of right now, so let's just slow down how quickly we go bankrupt. This really is the definition of being stuck between a rock and a hard place. They either have to grit their teeth and try in vain to catch up to Tesla and lose insane amounts of money in the process trying to ramp up to volume and drive costs down. I guess they realize this is impossible, so instead they've decided to slow down to slow how quickly they go bankrupt. The problem is, obviously, I can see this coming. The interpretation from folks like Phil, who is an automotive industry journalist, I think that's his title, will have bought into the bullshit being fed to them by Ford, who definitely aren't a major advertiser on the network, that there's a slowdown in EV demand as opposed to consumers don't want to pay insane money for our vehicles and it's unsustainable for us to sell them at low enough prices to sell through production. And we've realized we're going to go bankrupt, so we're slowing down because we want to go bankrupt slower rather than faster, and we're going to lie to you and say that there's demand issues, and you're going to believe it because you're dumb. So, I mean, it is prudent, technically. I guess they want to go bankrupt slower rather than faster. But at the same time, Phil's reasoning, I'm sure, in terms of the prudence will be, it's prudent because there is a big slowdown in EV demand right now, and so obviously if there's a slowdown in demand, there's not, then it's prudent for Ford to slow down their production.
And they really didn't even announce this. It came out because suppliers said, hey, look, what we were expecting to send to them for building next year on the Lightning, it's going to be cut in half. So here's what Ford is going to be doing. And the company says, look, we're matching demand. And that's prudent. That's what you want them to do. You do not want them overbuilding. They're going to cut their 2024 production plans by approximately 50%. Means they're going to build about 80,000 Lightnings next year.
So I just need to take a moment. 80,000, roughly, Ford F-150 Lightnings next year. 80,000. In 2023, they sold just over 20,000. And if I recall, since launching the Lightning at the beginning of 2021, cumulative sales are approximately 36,000. Now, I personally expect roughly 1 year from now, Tesla's annualized rate of Cybertruck production is probably going to be somewhere on the order of 100,000+ units per year. Not to say that they'll make 100,000 next year, because it's going to take time to ramp up. But Ford is likely to exit 2024 with an annualized rate of F-150 Lightning production of about 80,000 units. And Tesla is likely to exit the year with Cybertruck production in excess of Ford's F-150 Lightning. This is really fumbling the football. Ford can leverage their F-150 brand and milk it for all it's worth. You've got to give them credit for actually starting production of this thing a couple of years before Cybertruck hit the market. But they have a small window of time now to sell as many of these vehicles as they can before people start to realize the Cybertruck shits all over Ford's electric F-150. And instead, they're slowing down. I have to, by the way, just admit, I was extremely wrong. I like saying this again, so I'm going to repeat it. I was extremely wrong. I mean, it doesn't happen that often. One more time. I was extremely wrong because I predicted that over the coming years, all the dumb legacy automotive manufacturers would be announcing accelerations of their EV plans. I thought that they would realize that they hadn't been anywhere near aggressive enough in terms of how many electric vehicles they thought consumers would want, and therefore how many electric vehicles they plan to produce. And I thought they would be consistently announcing to the marketplace, we are increasing our investment, we are increasing our goals, we are increasing our production capacity because we've realized that there's far more interest in electric vehicles than we originally projected. As embarrassing as this is to point out, I did not realize just how dumb these companies would be. It's not just Ford who've recently announced a massive slowdown, but also General Motors, also known as Government Motors, who I'm sure can't wait for the next government bailout when they go bankrupt again. So one more time, I was so wrong. It's embarrassing. I just didn't account for the absolute idiocy at these companies. I was adamant that they'd be doing nothing but accelerating. And right now, they're slamming on the brakes. Just wow, dude. Anyway, one more time, I was wrong, and I love it. It doesn't happen that much.
Their sales, by the way, this year, just over 20,000. And yes, Lightning sales are gradually increasing. In fact, in November, best month ever for sales of the Lightning. More than 4,300 Lightnings were sold. That's not going to be what they need every month in 2024, but there is demand out there, albeit not as much as Ford was expecting. As you take a look at the EV leaders in this country by market share, Ford is fifth right now. Tesla continues to dominate.
So just a quick moment here. First of all, let's just check the CNBS math. As you can see on screen now, we have a pie chart, which most people intuitively assume to represent 100% of something. Yet on this pie chart representing 100%, we add the percentages up here and we come to 81.7%. So I just wanted to point that out. It doesn't always bear repeating, but often the graphics on these CNBS things are extremely misleading. I'm not sure because they're dumb, it's intentional or otherwise, but I'm just pointing that out. Now, that being said, we just heard from Phil that there's a lack of demand, there's less demand than was expected, etc. Yet, Tesla in the United States is selling more than 10 times as many electric vehicles as Ford is. So, question, is it reasonable to assert that there's a lack of demand for a company like Ford? It's prudent for Ford to be slowing down their production on electric vehicles, halving their F-150 Lightning production, when there's a company selling the same products, electric vehicles, in the same markets, the United States, who's literally selling 10 times as many as Ford? Call me crazy, but I don't think that quite checks out. Back to you, Phil.
Dominate the market with more than 56% of the share of EVs that are sold. And there you see Ford at 5.3%. And as you take a look at shares of Ford, keep in mind that they believe that they've done the right thing by pushing out their investments in EVs by about $12 billion. Doesn't mean they're giving up that $12 billion, Brian. It just means that they're going to be pushing out a little bit further because they realize the market right now is all about hybrids.
What the fuck? What? Oh, God damn it, dude. I can't even. I'm not even going to comment on that.
Important as you took a look at shares of GM and Stellantis because, as you mentioned with the Silverado, you're going to have a couple of e-pickups coming to market in the next year. Not in huge numbers, but they are coming to market. All of this calls into question, Brian, whether or not electric pickup trucks, really how much of a market do they have?
These poor guys. I feel bad for them. Here's a question. Are there any electric, quote, pickup trucks, or close enough, for which in the United States alone there are currently more than 1 million reservations? No, definitely not. Wait, did somebody say Cybertruck? No, that's fake news. That public reservation track is fake. So I think that this is a genuine question with an unknown answer as to whether or not there really is meaningful demand for electric pickup trucks in the United States. That's definitely an unknown because the Cybertruck doesn't exist, nor does the public reservation tracker. The truth is, one, the automotive market is going through an absolute storm. It is cyclical. Worst conditions in about 15 years. Interest rates through the roof. That is having a slight impact. But the main factor is that Tesla doesn't exist in a vacuum. And if they produce compelling, exceptionally well-priced for what you get in terms of value vehicles, including a Cybertruck, and you're a company that can't hope to compete on cost unless you want to go bankrupt doing so, or performance, features, and functionality, and your best option is to produce turds and sell them for losses, yeah, you might struggle to sell your overpriced, unprofitable turds in the same marketplace in which consumers can choose a Cybertruck. But this isn't an issue of demand. Make a compelling, well-priced vehicle. It will sell. This is an issue of companies who currently produce a horse and buggy trying to figure out how to produce a new technology they've never produced before and learning that it's actually hard.
At least right now, how much of a market do they have? Yes, they're selling where EVs are hot on the two coasts, the smile of the U.S., but you go to places in the middle of Iowa or Minnesota or elsewhere, it's tough to sell an EV, let alone an EV pickup truck.
And now a really quick bit of very legitimate coverage of a very legitimate thing that occurred in the mainstream media on CNBS about Tesla. Shout out to Tesla Boomer Papa for the clip. Note the headline, Tesla recalling 2 million vehicles.
To Tesla because the company is recalling more than 2 million vehicles over an issue with its driver assistance system. Phil LeBeau here with the details. So what's the story, Phil?
Sarah, that system is commonly referred to as autopilot, and this recall is a massive one, impacting more than 2 million Tesla models, basically almost every single Tesla that has been built and is driven here in the United States.
Massive recall, 2 million Teslas. Now, I'm going to cut to the chase. This is, of course, a software update. An over-the-air software update. But that doesn't make for a good headline, does it? If I didn't know any better, I might suggest that the fake news was aptly named. Now, call me crazy, but I think it's time for a new definition so that consumers who don't care to do their homework and really understand don't hear the word recall and assume it means what it actually means, which is to physically recall vehicles back to home base so physical changes can be made to the vehicles for safety reason. That is an appropriate name when that is the case, and when there's an over-the-air software update, I really don't think the word recall makes sense. Instead, how about software update? Or if you want to make sure consumers understand that it's safety related and really important, maybe you could call it a mandatory software update. But 99.9% of people, when they hear the word recall, think the word recall means what the word recall means. And if the word recall is being used to describe an over-the-air software update, it's a bit misleading, to say the least. However, there is good news. One of the guests in the fake news on CNBS isn't buying it.
All right, Brandon, what do you want to make of this Tesla recall? 2 million vehicles. It's an awful lot, obviously. The stock is down near 3%. You own it, so what's your read on it?
So when the Apple 15 came out and it started overheating, did we go out and say that Apple was doing a recall of the Apple 15? No. They did a software update. Yet everyone's like freaking out because Tesla is going to recall, I'm putting in quotes, 2 million cars. When in reality, they've already done or are about to do a software update. And so I think this is a great example of what car company in the history of the world has ever had to do something to 2 million cars and they can do a simple software update. And so I think obviously people get hyped up about Elon, but I think this is a really good example about what a sophisticated technology company is, that not one car is going into the dealer. This is all done over the internet. And so
it is.
So, one, she's spitting some facts, and two, good luck getting invited back on. She's tried to be delicate, but she's straight out called CNBS out here. You can hype it up, blah, 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 but it's a software update and actually speaks to Tesla's sophistication, the fact that vehicles don't need to be physically recalled somewhere. It's just an over-the-air software update. You can tell she's fed up with this bullshit.
and so
It is a lot. It is a lot of vehicles.
Oh my God, Scott, what an absolute... It is a lot of vehicles, though. You know what's going on right now? The producer's in Scott's ear. Hey, Tesla doesn't advertise. Ford does. Say some bad shit. She's not supposed to say that. She's not supposed to point out that it's an over-the-air software update. She's not supposed to point out that this just shows how technologically advanced Tesla is versus the so-called competition. Quick, make it sound bad again. It's very embarrassing. On screen right now, we have a headline that says Tesla recalls more than 2 million cars. Maybe you can just cut it right now. Cut the interview. Just cut, quick. Just say it's a lot of cars and then say, see you later. We've got to go, bye.
the technology company is that not one car is going into the dealer. This is all done over the internet. And so
it is a lot. It is a lot of vehicles.
You notice, by the way, I rewound. He interrupted her while she was making a point, just to say it is a lot of vehicles, though. I mean, guaranteed producers in here. Scott, we need some FUD right now, bro. FUD. Say something bad. Elon bad. Tesla bad. Watch again.
It is a lot. It is a lot.
an example about what a sophisticated technology company is that not one car is going into the dealer. This is all done over the internet. And so
it is a lot. It is a lot of vehicles. I feel like you're being a little dismissive of the issue itself, which is not exactly the first.
Okay, so sorry to do this, guys, but I've just seen 2 eye rolls here from the guest. Check it out. Eye roll number 1. After he says it is a lot of vehicles, though. Look, eye roll. Now she pushes back. Watch again. When Scott, who definitely is a massive I feel you're being dismissive. Watch what happens to her eyes again as the FUD master here tries again to suggest she's being dismissive when she's spitting facts. Watch her eye roll again. It's very brief. The blink and the eye roll. There it goes again. Eyes again. Now look, maybe I'm imagining this, or maybe she's thinking, you stupid fucking Of course, we'll never know.
and so
It is a lot. It is a lot of vehicles. I feel like you're being a little dismissive of the issue itself, which is not exactly the first time that we are discussing the autonomous driving with.
Obviously, it was a total coincidence. It wasn't an eye roll. She was just looking at something. Maybe that's where the video of Scott is. Because no one would have the audacity to roll their eyes at one of the dumb on CNBS trying to spread FUD. Jokes aside, though, got to give some credit here. Some facts have been spat in the faces of the FUD masters on CNBS. Just think about the FUD tsunami we've seen today. Tesla recalls more than 2 million cars, which is actually an over-the-air software update. The Cybertruck will kill you if it hits you. Thanks, bro. Thanks for the lesson in physics. If I didn't know any better, I'd think they might be a little scared. But of course, I'm obviously a tinfoil hat-wearing conspiracy theorist who doesn't really know what he's talking about. I'm sure the media is trying to do their best to be completely reasonable and fair, and the fact that Tesla doesn't spend big money advertising on CNBS or NBS or any other of the mainstream media outlets is a total coincidence. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to ask Grok, why would it be that the mainstream media is so unreasonable when covering Tesla? Want more content? Early access? A bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. It's an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity. stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. Certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point. It's something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy, wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, snake oil salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment, see you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.